All right, Pat Steelers. Here we go. So basically, this has been one of the most fascinating matchups and film that I've ever watched and prepared for an upcoming game. Bill Belichick is going to stop Le'Veon Bell. You can rest assured. The reason for that is a couple of things, both analytically based and philosophically based. We all know Bill Belichick likes to take away the opposing team's number one weapon. And more than that, Matt Patricia has been hearing from Bill, and as well as the defense, stop Le'Veon Bell. Let's see if we can stop Le'Veon Bell. They've been watching him on film, and I do believe, from watching the film myself, that there is a couple of things you can do to really slow down Le'Veon Bell. Now, what the Chiefs did, somewhat effectively, but at a high cost, was having the safety basically spy Le'Veon Bell, spy the running back. It's one of the first times I've ever seen a defense spy a running back, not bringing in the extra man per se. He was just simply behind the defensive line, just waiting which way Bell is going to cut, and if he hesitated, breaking through the wide open gaps between his defensive linemen. Now, in order to do that, the Chiefs played the defensive linemen were pretty wide. They were separated from each other. They didn't want to let Bell get the edge, and they wanted to let the safeties and linebackers shoot through the gaps to try to cut Bell off before he made his move. The problem with that is, against Pittsburgh's offensive line, it leaves you susceptible to double teams. Now, if you get a double team on one lineman, and he's about 4 to 5 feet initially from his buddy, it just leaves too big of a hole, and Bell explodes through that hole. The Pats, when they played Pittsburgh last time, and not only versus Pittsburgh, the way they play their defense is they have their down linemen very close together. That look should give Le'Veon Bell a world of trouble. Now, the one thing I didn't understand, and I didn't understand why the Chiefs didn't do it in other teams, is to simply have someone coming off the edge, sort of as a clear out. Well, Le'Veon Bell is waiting 2 to 3 seconds behind the line of scrimmage, simply to have the lineman coming off the edge unblocked and sort of sweeping across the backfield and try to take him down from the side. Now, the only way Pittsburgh can counteract that is by having Ben Roethlisberger sort of run a option play and have Ben running towards the left, which, if Pittsburgh is going to beat you that way, God bless. Now, I do expect, I think what's pretty obvious on film, and I do expect New England to take advantage of that. They usually don't miss those. Moving on to Roethlisberger and the passing attack. Roethlisberger has not been very good on the road. But more than that, I do think he will have success to his secondary receivers. The Pats will be doubling Antonio Brown. And even if he looks over that safety, he's going to have to hit his tight end, James, and some other receivers over the middle. He should have them in favorable one-on-one matchups. And while I do think he'll have some time in the pocket, the way the Pats are going to play that with their defensive linemen sort of sticking together, that does limit the pass rush somewhat. So he will have some chances down the field. I do expect Jesse James to have a decent game. The problem is, in the red zone, I have the Pats putting Chung on him. Chung has been one of the best safeties defending the tight ends in the red zone. It's just every play is tough coverage. So I'm expecting Pittsburgh to move the ball a bit, but to stall in the red zone. And I can't see them putting up much more than 23 points. On offense, the way to beat Pittsburgh always has been, even when Dick LeBeau was running things, and more so even now. If you're going to play them a straight-up vanilla traditional offense, it's not going to work. When you're going to play, a fullback, tight end, 2 wide receivers, their defense is built to take away the deep ball, and you simply don't have enough options over the middle. Just ask the Giants when they played Pittsburgh. The Giants led the league in offensive possessions with the same looks, and that really hurt them. I expect Bill to spread them out. That's where their weaknesses lie. They're very susceptible to pick plays and throws over the middle when they're spread out wide. And while I do love the Pittsburgh Steelers edge rushers, in order to stop the short passing game, you're going to need to get pressure up the middle against Tom Brady. Otherwise, we'll just step up ahead of the edge rushers and get those quick completions over the middle. What the Texans did to negate that was they had their edge rush, they had Merciless lined up against the center and getting good pressure over the middle. The Steelers can do that. They can potentially put Bud Dupree up the middle and try to take advantage of that. But they've been reluctant to do that. They don't change their defense up much in those situations. Harrison, forget about it. They're not going to move him over the top. But if they do do that, look for LeGarrette Blount to have a huge day. I think the Pats are going to come out 4 wide, with Dion Lewis or White split out as the back. The Steelers will try to bracket Edelman, but that'll leave some gaps for Amendola and the running backs. And if their defensive linemen are coming over the middle, look for Blount to have a real good day, pushing the pile over the top. Now, there's been some late sharp action coming in on some buyback coming in on Pittsburgh, so I'm waiting a little bit to get a favorable New England line. I'm going to check out if I have some decent parlay options with New England with the NBA slate for a money line parlay. I still Golden State went off the board, but so I'm either going to go spread or maybe buy it down or just take the money line pretty heavy. Those plays will be sent shortly on the NFL Week 3 Picks Chats.